Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And this is the first video in a series of videos that I'm going to do on component maintenance, individual component maintenance. Like an in-depth deep dive per component. And this video today, it's going to be on the SUNRACE 7-speed grip shifter. Our experience with these shifters is that they don't shift very well and they're cheaply made and so on and so forth. But we got to give them a chance, and we got to give them a fighting chance. And in order to do that, you got to keep up with maintenance on these shifters. I find more often than other shifters. So this shifter actually came spec'd on the bike that's right behind me here, the Nakamara Agile that's sold at Canadian Tire that my son used all summer, last summer. And it turns out that we just switched, because we were using it so much, the bike, we switched the shifter from the grip shift stock SUNRACE that came on it to a Shimano 7-speed trigger shifter, which made a world of difference. So if you are going to buy this bike or buy a bike like it that has the grip shifters, it is quite an easy changeover. You just right now you just have to find the parts, aka the Shimano trigger shifter, which is very difficult right now because of the whole bike industry shortage thing that's going on because of the pandemic. So in light of that, I thought I'd make this video and see if we can get this shifter working again. C's solid for no apparent reason that I can see, but we'll go over that as this video progresses, so stay tuned. Thank you.
Dirty Forks!
See, this is the SUNRACE shifter, grip shifter. Now I've seen these shifters anywhere from 5 speeds to 8 speeds, the particular SUNRACE. This one happens to be a 7-speed, and there's no real difference other than the amount of clicks that the pawl has to make. There's no difference. So to do this overhaul, you need a new cable, a new shifter cable, because if you're going to take these apart, you might as well replace the shifter cable. I have some chain lube here, and I have some synthetic grease that is high performance. It's important that it's high performance because it is lower vis, and it allows that movement to happen for the pawl inside. So I've kind of already started this taking this shifter apart just for the video. These shifters are rather difficult to get apart, so first thing you want to do is pull off the grip. Now the grip is, we have some splined ribs here. The grip is also ribbed on the inside, and that literally just pulls off. It might be a little bit hard to pull off, but it's supposed to be. So just get a small flathead screwdriver in there and just slowly work your way around it. Don't force anything, just take your time with it and work all the way around until you can get your fingers in there, and then pull out so that you don't damage the grip for the shifter. And then this guy, so he's going to be in here, but all the way to here. And that's the hard part of getting this shifter apart. So when you get this off, this part actually is the part that's hard to get off, because if you see here, I don't know if the camera will pick this up. If you see here, these are ribbed on the outside, and that actually connects to inside the shifter, right in there. And that's how it keeps it from moving outward. So as you can see, these are a little bit parts oriented here. So you've got basically, I'm not going to take this part out again, but you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then under here I have the 6th part, which is the pawl. Those are the parts to this particular shifter. So now, this part here, right up here, inside there, you see little jagged, I guess you could say, pieces right here with a little bit of lube in there. Well, that's the factory lube that's in there, and those are the little pieces that the pawl runs over and makes the click sound. So those pieces, let me see if I can demonstrate this for you. So the pawl sits there, and then when you move the grip shift up, it clicks in each one of those notches. So if you don't have a clean inner portion, then you're going to run into problems. It should all be clean. This piece is the inner piece that the pawl sits in. Everything should be clean and properly lubed. Take a little bit of this high performance grease here. On the end of your finger. You don't need a lot, like maybe the size, like a pea-sized amount. And you're just gonna put that in there like that. Then I take a little bit of this. Now I'm going to use this, but you can use something like this for this part. You can use chain lube for this part. This part can get very gummy, grimy. It has to be clean, clean, clean. And you put a little bit of grease on that. And that is going to enhance your shifting performance. Like, it's going to be, the difference is going to be night and day. More often than not, you won't see this greased on these shifters, unfortunately. So the pawl sits in like that. So once you have your cable in into the stop there like that, make sure that these notches here on this piece go pointing out like that. take your cable end, feed it, there's a cable channel right there. You feed it down in through the barrel. So once you get to this point, you can put your pawl in. Then once you're at this point, don't forget to put the cover back on, otherwise you will have to take it all apart again. So this here, make sure that that is pushed all the way in, which exposes these. And then this part right here needs to go right behind the pawl, otherwise it will not function properly. And I just put a little bit more grease in there because I was fiddling around with it, so I put a little bit more grease, and that's going to help things move inside the mech. Then you put this in here like this. Just push that one in to help it in. Then once you're at this stage, push that guy all the way in. And you're still at a stage now where you can quite easily take this back out. But push him in. You can test. You can push that guy in. Now once he's in, it's not going anywhere. And like I was saying before, the pliers I use are these guys. I can use any pliers, but I find the leverage that these ones give are great. And I just put it in the shifter like that. Hold on to the shifter like this. And then just work it gently so that you don't break any of the plastic components here. No grease, please, on this. If you get grease on this, then the friction, it won't have any friction.
Hi!
So then you line up the splines on the inside of the grip to the splines on the outside of the inner mech. And you push it in, like so. Now you have your shifter back together. The barrel adjuster, if you know about the barrel adjuster, awesome. If you don't, this is what adjusts the tension, your cable tension. Make sure it's twisted, rotated, and turned all the way in. So righty-tighty in this example. In this case, it's righty-tighty all the way in. Back it out one turn. This is my son, and this is proof that, okay, I've got it. I pretend it's on the handlebar.
Okay.
Now twist it.
Okay. No force. Up or down, no force.
Big difference, eh?
Yeah.
Remember how we had to do that before?
Yeah.
So before we end this video, I just want to, I'd be crazy if I didn't do this, just to make mention quickly of the cable housing. So now is the time. Usually the general rule of thumb is if you change the cable, you should change the housing. If you want good shifting, make sure you change these at least every spring. These are cheap, but they're maintainable. You can fix them. You don't have to buy new stuff. So I've got the shifter back on the bike, and Owen's gonna shift.